Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while, but I am back with a complete lineup for the month of February. And I come up with a plan for February. It seems like there's a lot of people out there that are just getting into junk journaling and beginning and getting started. So I wanted to do a whole month of what I'm going to call February 1st. There will be a video posted every single day for the month of February. It may only be a 5 or 10 minute video, but there will be videos posted, and it's going to go with a hashtag of February 1st, 26. FEB, the number 1 ST 26. And that is going to be the hashtag. There will be a playlist. So this, if anybody wants to join in with February 1st and follow me along, we're going to keep it really simple. So if you don't want simple for the next month, maybe you should look for some other creators to watch for a while. If you are new to my channel, please like and subscribe. It really helps me get my videos out to you, and it shows me that you are supporting my channel. And YouTube likes the likes and subscriptions things. Your subscription to my channel costs absolutely nothing. It will notify you when there are new videos out. So you might be asking yourself, just what is a junk journal? Why do people make them? What are they? What do you use them for? Well, I pulled up, asked my friend on AI, fellow AI friend, to give me a definition for a junk journal. And it is very comprehensive, but I'd like to read it to you so that you will have a better understanding. It is a handmade book. First thing, a junk journal is a handmade book. You're adding things either to a book or you're making it, say, from scratch. It's created from a mix of recycled, found, and decorative materials, and you can use it for journaling, memory keeping, or creative expression. You don't have to journal just because it says junk journal. If you simply want to write a little note in it, if you want to just do it for the fun of creating the pages, it's yours. You have the freedom to do as you choose. Pages are often made from items like old book pages, envelopes, packaging, fabric, scrapbook paper, and ephemera. And then you layer your papers with pockets, tags, tuck spots, writing spaces, and interactive elements. You're probably wondering, everybody knows what packaging and pockets are, but you start wondering why the writing spaces, why the tags, why the pockets. So that if you do give your journal to somebody and they choose to want to write or add photographs, there's room to do those things. And a lot of times with junk journals, you don't want your writing to be showing for everyone to read as they're flipping through your journal. So you find ways to hide that writing in under things. Then they can flip through and enjoy the beauty of the journal without reading your personal journaling comments. Unlike a traditional journal, a junk journal values texture, imperfection, and storytelling. You can have a journal that has a certain theme, like a travel journal, maybe a butterfly journal, maybe you did something in their life and you want to tell a story, a graduation journal, a birthday journal. Anything you can think of can be turned into a junk journal with the right imagination and things that you just happen to pick up, maybe even just lying around your house. And the big thing here is it values imperfection. Junk journals are handmade, therefore they are not supposed to look like they are brand new, neatly glued, neatly stamped, and everything done perfect and neatly. It's going to have flaws. And I heard a creator at one time say this, and I've said this to several different people who have started making junk journals, is that you make a mistake, it just adds to the character of your journal. So, there is that. You can also use it to, as I said, write. You can use it for collaging in. A collage is just a mixture of different papers that are put together. We're going to go through some of these terminologies as we go throughout the month, and I'll give you some more detailed information about certain categories. And before I go much further, I need to give you a little disclaimer. I'm not an expert on junk journals. This is research I have done that I am adding to things I have learned along the way. So this month is not an expert month. I'm sure other people could do it and maybe have a whole different take on things. But I'm just sharing my very basic stuff that I might have wished I'd known from the very beginning when I created a journal. And the one thing is that you should keep in mind with junk journals, not only are they imperfect, but there are no rules. You do what you want to do. You, as the old saying, you do you, boo. Just do what you want to do in your journal. You can use very basic supplies, or you can go out and spend money and use all kinds of amazing supplies. Those amazing supplies, though, are often built up with time. To start out, all you need is ruler, glue, scissors, paper, and maybe a pencil to make some marks when you're cutting your papers. Very, very simple. Each journal is unique. There will be no two journals out there just the same. Even if you buy the same two people buy DigiKit, when they're done, it's going to be entirely different. You can use it to document memories. You can use it to plan as a planner. You can even use it to explore your own creativity, doing a page a day or a page a week or whenever you have time in your craft room, just sitting down and playing in your journal and playing with paper. I often come in my craft room and I don't have any set plan. I just come in here because I just want to play with my papers. Each journal is shaped by the creator's personal style, the things that they use in it, the theme that they might use, and often you will make junk journals out of things that you would normally throw away. A piece of mail, an old guest check, which is what they write, waitresses will write on, tickets, stamps, postage stamps, and clear stamps and rubber stamps. So just all kinds of materials that you can use to start out making a journal. One of the big things that I didn't know what it was when I started was a signature. If somebody used the word signature for me, I don't have a clue what a signature is. But simply put, a signature is just a group of pages in a journal. They're put together in a way that aids in the binding of that book. For example, you might see my notes off to the side here, folks, but if I didn't have notes, guess what? I'd forget to tell you things. So this is a book here that I brought along, and I brought it because it's easy to see the signatures in it. If you turn it up on its edge, you'll see, it's not as easy to see on its edge, but it's easier to see in the book. There are several multiple signatures that are both glued and sewed in this book. Often the very front page and the next page are part of your entire inside of the front cover. It's part of the chipboard piece on the front, in the front and the back. And then if you turn it, you're going to come to your first signature. And see how this is lifting up here? This group of papers right here is a signature in this book. So technically this book has one, probably 2 or 3 signatures in here because it's not a very big book. But when you find your signature, if you go to the center of the signature, which in this one I flipped right to, I don't know if you can see the strings here. I'm trying to get something, let me get something that's not sharp because I certainly don't want to cut my strings. This is a little scraper, but it's not sharp enough to cut it. If I wanted to take this book apart, I would just take my scissors and cut right here on this little string, and it'll take it right apart. You can just snap that one, snap each of them, and just pull it out there 2 pages at a time. So that is what a signature in a book is. Some books have 10, 15, 20 signatures, just depending on how the book is put together. However, journals mostly have anywhere from 1 to 5 journals or signatures. I brought along several journals here that I wanted to show you. For example, this one actually has 2 signatures. I've got a group of papers here. There's the center of the signature. Flip to the back. That is 1 signature, and then there's a signature here. You can put as many as you want. This particular journal uses an elastic binding method. My papers will come out at any time that I want to pull them out of here. I can simply pull them out and add new papers to this journal. So they just come right out. And your pages are nestled inside each other when you do signatures that way. And then here is another journal that I did. It has 2 or 3 signatures. I can't recall now. I believe I put 2 in this. Let me get my ribbon untied here, and I'll show you. And while I have this open, we'll also talk about what you put in it when you're wanting to create a journal. So I have actually 2 signatures here. This is signature number 1, and this is signature number 2. When I'm making journals, I prefer 1 to 2 signatures in my journal. Some people will put 4 and 5. I like to have lots of room for bulking. You can see this one started out with the pieces of paper, and it got a little bulky. Some people will like the big old gator mouth look where it sticks up like that. Not so much for me. It's easier for me with my weakness in my arms that I have to just deal with 1 or 2 signatures. We don't want to tie that back up yet. And then you can also have an altered book type junk journal, which is this one here. I simply went through, tore out some pages, and put things down in the journal to decorate up the pages as I went. So you can also, that is another way that you could create a simple junk journal. All right, what do you put in a junk journal? Well, you can put anything you want in it, paper-wise. If you're going to do it for yourself, it doesn't matter if your papers have your name and address on them, because it's your junk journal. If you're going to be making them and giving them away, you might not want to put your name and address in them. This particular journal has what you would call digital papers. These were printed off from a digital kit. And then it also has other papers that were added to it. This is just a piece of colored paper that I happen to have. Some different digitals here. And as you flip through, there's a piece of notebook paper. You can have dyed papers, notebook papers, graph paper, music sheets, maps, writing paper. This is vintage children's writing paper here. Coffee and tea dyeing is a big thing. And here is some blue dyed paper with lots of wrinkles. The wrinkles give it texture, and it gives you a different type of texture as you're going through this. This particular kit, if you're interested, was from, I believe it's Liana Scraps, L-I-A-N-A or L-I-A-N-N-A. I'm not for sure, on Etsy. She sells digital junk journals that you can purchase the digital kits and then print out at home. The one I have in my hand here is one that I have for sale. If you're interested, you can just message me about it and we can discuss the price. It will be on its way shortly, here the next week or so, on its way to North Carolina. I know someone there, and she's taking it back there so that it can be sold if no one buys it, since I don't have an Etsy shop. Anyway, here's a piece of vellum. That's another thing you can use in your junk journal. So paper-wise, you can use pretty much anything that you want to cut to size to fit into your journal. So that is what a signature is. That's what a junk journal is. And those are the types of papers that you can use in your junk journal. The longer you'll do it, you'll find yourself collecting all kinds of goodies. You can make your basis for your junk journal out of different things. The one in my hand, I created in a combination of book and cardboard under here and covered it with material. This one has just been a book that I have torn extra pages out of. If you turn it up on its edge, you can see where there's missing pages. And I've created various pockets and things in here to put cards or whatever in. If you are just starting out today, one couple different things you could possibly use to make your junk journal. I'm not going to go over the construction of junk journals this month, but there's tons of construction journals out there on how to create journals from scratch with scraps and how to make things go together and that type of thing. So they're out there. You just look and you'll find it. My choice for a journal this month is simply going to be a ring-bound book that I had. This is one from Simple Stories. And I have punched out a kit, a bunny kit. I honestly, y'all, I can't remember where it came from, but I punched out an Easter bunny kit. So I have the pages from the kit. I have some plain cardstock in here. And I also have some little book page front from different little Easter books. No, I didn't tear up my kids' Easter books. These book pages were all rescued from garage sale books that people were either giving away for a dime, a quarter, or even just for free. So those are where I got those pages. If you want to join along and you don't have a notebook, you can use a spiral notebook. What makes the difference if it's a spiral notebook? Your junk journals starting out do not need to look alike all the creators on YouTube. Some of these creators out there that you're watching have been making journals for 9 years, 10 years, and even more, some of them that have been around for a while. So you can use a spiral notebook. The spiral notebook that your child did not finish from school last year. Pull it out, use that for your basis. You can add papers to it, anything you want. You don't have to worry about knowing how to bind things. We'll talk about binding in a later video, but to get started, if you want something to create in, or you could just go to the Dollar Tree and get yourself a handy dandy little composition book. If I were going to use an actual book or composition book, however, this one in particular has 100 sheets in it. They're a little flimsy, and there's not a lot of room in the spine for growth. So I would probably pull at least a third to half of these sheets out so that I had plenty of room for growth in here. The beauty of a ring binder is you can just always add to it. You don't really have to pull things out because you can see how big it is as it's growing. The other option is to do as I did with this and get you an old book. If you're going to take an old book apart to use it, this one just had a beautiful cover, so I did absolutely nothing to my cover. But I went through and tore out like every third page or every so many pages you tear out so that this book was actually copyrighted from 1901. You pull out the, my heavens, My brain is just going completely dead here, y'all. Anyway, the way this was written, all of the writing is within this piece of paper, so it gave me nice pretty edges that I could use. This is this little flip thing. I'm going to show you how to do different things as we move along. But you just simply take out some of your books. If you're going to remove pages from your book and you're not taking all of the pages out, I would simply not cut none of the strings were cut in these signatures. They're still in here. They're either hidden inside of a pocket, or you might come along and see where the strings were. Just for some interest, I just had a couple cut out jars and I just simply tuck those in. So that for your basis for this project, then grab yourself, like I said, a composition book, an old book that you're going to take some pages out of, or that you're willing to take some pages out of, a spiral notebook, a 3-bound book, 3-ring bound book, different ways that you can put them together without the fear of stitching journals together. All right. Talk a little bit about what binding is. Binding is how the journal is how it's put together. We're preparing a book to use as a journal as part of that binding process. It uses some method to hold your pages together. Composition books are often sewn, and they are often only one signature, for example. So when you take them out, if you take out the front page, or go every 3 pages, or however you decide to do it, do the same thing in the back, because once you tear the front page out, the corresponding back page is not going to be held in there. The only thing that's holding it together are these sewn stitches right down the center of the book. So if I pull one sheet out, for example, just go ahead and take the front sheet out here. You can be real careful and cut these, or I often will tear them, and then because they're so thin, I might just tear them from composition books and use them as a glue page. Something to put down when I'm gluing. So I'll take this out and then flip to the back and take the corresponding back page out. Usually it'll come out pretty easily once you've got the front page out. Sometimes not, and you have to tear it out. On the back side as well. In fact, it's staying in there so good right now, I'm going to go ahead and leave it in there because I'm not going to be using this composition book for this type of journal. So that's what I've got for you today, y'all. Be sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for future videos. Remember, it's hashtag February 1st, 26 if you want to join along. Please do, if you are planning on joining along with me and making some of the things. I would love to see whether you post on Instagram or Facebook. I'll use the same hashtag in both places. And I would love to see what it is that you are going to make this month with me. We're going to keep it very simple with some basic supplies that you can either pick up at your Dollar Tree or that you might have on hand. Or things that you might receive in the mail. So hang on to your junk mail and get you a base book to get started with. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.